I want to start with consciousness because at least from my perspective, it seems like a really important context for understanding. Now, I want to be clear. In my view, understanding has, in the big picture, a fairly limited value, actually, even though I spend a lot of energy writing and speaking and teaching. The reason why I think understanding has such a relatively limited value is that the premise of understanding, at least from my perspective, is that there's something that we can figure out, and once we figure it out, we can optimize it, we can manage it, we can make it the way we want it to be. Does that resonate with everyone? Do you sort of get the premise there? Like, there are all these things that are unknown, pick a topic, and once we know them, we have a more predictable dynamic, and we can make that dynamic be more the way we want it to be. And that's really a function of the illusion of separation. So in some strange way, even just that kind of knowledge, which I think fits into a certain kind of category, I think there are types of knowledge, or at least one type of knowledge, that I refer to as embodied knowledge, and that comes from the direct experience. Like, for example, if we just talk about a mystical experience or an experience of oneness, right? I could tell a story, we could share stories, we could pass the mic, here's my experience, right? We're talking about it. We're having kind of an intellectual or possibly even an experiential dynamic, but it's different than our own deeply private inner experience of oneness or of unity. Or we could talk about, everyone's an undistorted extension and expression of divinity or a child of God or whatever you want to say, and blah, blah, blah. Here's why that's true, drops in the ocean, et cetera, et cetera. But what about the experience of that? That type of knowledge, in my view, doesn't require even any language. It just is something that unfolds. I love going into that space. But because it's so unmoored, it can be helpful to have a context to reference and understand experiences that are unfolding in our lives. That's why I want to talk about consciousness for just a few minutes.